Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, introduce yourself and your experience and the project you've worked on so far.
Uh, okay, thank you. Uh, my name is Hamza. I'm from Morocco.
All right.
I have a master degree in cybersecurity. I'm currently a tutor in Python. I teach Python online in a platform called Preply.
All right.
Uh, I have an experience of 2 years and a half as a full stack web developer and data analytics in National School of Applied Sciences of Netra. Uh, and yeah, I'm proficient in uh, in Python, Java, and C Sharp. Uh, I have an expertise in web technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So, can you please share your screen for a while? So, can you give a basic or can you explain briefly one of the biggest projects you've worked on and what you've learned on those projects and how you were able to tackle certain problems or challenges you encountered while building that project?
okay. So as I mentioned before, I have one experience as a full stack web developer. Uh, I in this project I developed a web application for data analysis.
Sorry to interrupt you. 1 minute. I meant that can you share your can you on your video, not your screen, so you can stop sharing your screen and share your video instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So you can continue with the discussion about the project.
Yeah. So in this project, I developed a web application for data analysis that performs reading data and cleaning it and yeah and visualize it. And
So what technology did you use for this project?
I used the Django framework and Ajax, Editor JS, and
So
Doc.js.
what challenges did you face while developing this project?
Uh,
Like the major challenges that you faced, yeah.
yeah, actually, this this project was very interesting because I didn't have a background in Python and Django, so I saw everything like for the first time. So I kept learning and doing these things. So and communicating the client, trying to understand what they want, and yeah, and keep searching how I can
All
make
right, that's awesome. So you were the only one on the project, right?
yes, yes. I had an internship where I
Which
worked
means
through.
you can work without too much of supervision, right?
Can you repeat, please?
I said it simply means you can work with little to no supervision. I said you can work with little to no
Yeah,
supervision. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. That's brilliant. So now let's get into the like technical part of this interview now.
All right.
Yeah. So my first question for you is can you is does Python as a language allow method overloading, or can you just briefly explain what method overloading is? So does Python support method overloading or not? Yeah. So do you have you come across it before? Can you explain what this concept mean, or do you know if Python supports it or not? And if you can't give an answer, then we can just move on to the next question.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
No,
fine. I'm going to have you.
I know I know it, but I just forget a little bit. Let me try to explain and see if it is the correct
All
one
right.
or
All right.
not.
That's fine. That's fine.
I didn't come across it with Python, but with Java before. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
is it like when we have same function, like same name of the function, but with different uh,
Parameter, right?
parameters?
Yes. So that's correct. Yeah. So Python does not support method overloading, right? But
Yeah,
Java supports it. Yeah.
yeah,
But Python doesn't support method overloading. Yeah. So you did quite okay with that question. Yeah.
yeah.
Go to the next question. So what Python method allows a particular class to be an iterable? I don't know if you got that. Should I come again?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So when we have a Python class, right?
yes.
How do we make that Python class, or what method enables a Python class or an object to be an iterable?
To be an attribute, or you mean to initialize, to
No, not
instantiate,
to
not to
not to
instantiate?
initialize. We have lists, we have tuples, we have dictionaries.
Yes,
These these objects are actually iterable. That is, we can loop through them, right?
yes.
So this method helps us, like, gives us that gives an object that the capacity to be able to for it to become an iterable.
I think it's underscore underscore init underscore underscore function.
So now, all right, now underscore init is for initializing. It's
Yes,
also called constructor.
yes.
That is not what makes an object makes it iterable. So what makes it an iterable is underscore underscore iter underscore underscore. So which is like the method, right?
Can
That
you type it, please?
yeah, I'm going to type it now.
Yeah.
So this method, this
Iter. Okay. Yeah. I've never came across this one. Can you explain, please, again what this method do?
yes, I'm going to explain again. Give me one second. So when we have an when we have a class, right, and
Yes.
we want to make objects of that class an iterable, so we would have to implement this method within that class. So this method makes an it would enable the objects of that class to be an iterable. So what we are discussing now is object-oriented programming, right? So
Yes. Yes.
that just like we have underscore underscore str like
Yes.
this one, right?
Yes.
It
Exactly.
is used for string representation of the object, right? So
Yeah.
when whatever string is returned from this method is going to be what is going to represent object of that class, right? So
Okay.
that's just the exact same thing. So this is the method that enables object of a class to become an iterable. That is, when we implement it, then we would have object of a class that's going to be iterable. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
now
got
let's
you.
head over to your code editor. You can stop sharing your screen, your video, and I'll do the same. All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah, perfect. So I can see it. So now create just a simple Python file that we are going to be using for this interview. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Although I can't see what you're typing because it's happening again, but don't worry about that. We'll just continue.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know how we are going to do, but it is what it is. Right? Okay, I can see your screen now. So now, what's the difference between these operators? Is as in is.
Are Are you sharing your screen?
I can see your screen. Do you get my
Yes.
question? I said,
Yeah.
what's the difference between these two Python operators? Both are operators, but I'm now asking what's the difference between the two? Is and the second operator is double equals. So try typing it. Is as
I
in is
is
operator. Yeah.
this
Yes. Just
is and echo, right?
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what's the difference between these two operators? Can you explain what's the difference between when I say 5 as an integer is okay? You can also type this, you can type it as a comment, right?
Yeah.
You can make it a comment. So what's the difference between, yep. So now what's the difference between 5 is equals 5 and 5 is 5? So let's use a better example, right? Create two variables,
Yes, I
age
did.
one, yeah, yes, and what's the difference between 5 is 5? Something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Create two variables. Yeah, create two variables.
Yes.
You can create age as 5 or number, whatever.
Okay.
Right. So create another variable which is going to be 5. All right. So uh, create a simple conditional statement that checks if age 1 is equal to age 2 using the first operator
Using
is.
what? Is,
Yeah,
right?
is. Yep. So simply print true and false.
True here?
Yep, and false for the else condition. So before you run it, right, you'd
Yeah.
have to tell me what you believe the result should be. Are we going to get true or are we going to get false?
Okay. Here,
Yeah.
false. Well, I actually uh, don't remember very well for is. I'm trying to just guess.
Just
Uh,
give an answer. Yeah.
yeah. I think it will be false. I think because is say if this the values
So
are equal and
you said it should be false, right?
what? Yes,
You said yeah. So run the code, right?
it's true.
Yeah. So now, uh, change the operator to the double equals, right? So what do you think we get here? True or false?
This is true.
All right. Yeah. So now, um, let me just go ahead and explain the difference between the two operators, right? Is that okay?
Uh, what did you say?
I said, let me go ahead and explain the difference between
Yeah,
the two operators.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Okay. So when you are working with this double equal to, what it is comparing is the uh,
Uh,
value. It's comparing the value of the two variables you are comparing or the two objects. It's comparing the values of the two objects and it's also comparing the type. That is,
the
It is
time.
comparing, yeah.
Yeah,
So five is of value five, and in both variables five is still five, and in both variables they are both integers. So
integer.
as
Yeah,
far as they are of the same type
the same
and
time, the same value.
same value,
Yeah.
all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes,
So as far as they are of the same type and they are of the same value, this equals would return true. But the moment the type is not equal or the value is not equal, then that's when it will return false. But for the is operator, it works differently. So there is something we call an ID. When we create every variable,
it is
there's an ID.
the reference, right? That's what you mean.
Exactly, the reference, right?
Yeah.
So the is operator is comparing the reference and it's not comparing the value or the type. So
Yes.
when you are when you
Yes.
create each variable, there was a reference assigned to it, and there is a way you can check for the
Yes.
reference. So
Yes.
print ID, like write a statement, print. You can write this on, you can write this on a separate line, but it's okay. So ID, the function ID is a built-in function,
Yes.
is a built-in Python function, yeah.
Yeah.
Then use age and age two, just so we can see the IDs of these variables, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
They are the same.
So these two has the exact same ID
Yes.
because when we create a variable 5, which is a number, which is an integer, and we
Yes.
create another variable 5, both of these variables is going to point to the same reference in memory. Okay. So,
Because
but the reason why it is, the
bec-
reason why it is returning,
yes.
the reason why it's returning false is because integers are also immutable. So,
Yes. I understand that it is.
can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. I hear. I hear you, Philip.
Okay.
You said that the reason is because integer is
Yeah, they
immutable.
are pointing to the same reference. Yes. So now, when you make a change, for instance, you modify the value of age one, maybe you add two, like create just a simple, like after the, probably on line 4, right? You can just do something like age plus equals something. No, like on a new line.
In a new line. Okay.
Yeah,
H1 equal H1 plus something. That's what you said.
like 3. Yes, like 3. So now run the code again. So
I think you. Okay.
yeah, the age, yeah.
This is
So
false.
why is it not printing? Okay, it's not printing the IDs because of the conditional statement. Just put
Yeah.
the print statement on a new line, copy it and put it on a line outside of the conditional statement.
Yeah. It is.
So now IDs are now different, and
Yes.
you can recall that. Yes, you can recall that at the beginning it
Yes.
was it was uh,
The same.
it was the same. So
Yeah.
is did not work and is returned false because we have these variables, and the values of these variables can change at any given time in our
Yes.
execution. So the moment Python notices that, oh, this particular variable can be changed, can change at any point in time, Then when you use the is operator, it tries to tell you that they are not exactly the same, even if they are referencing the same, they have the same reference, but each of them can change at any point in time. So you cannot, the is operator would not work at that point in time. So that's why it didn't work. And that is simply the difference. So ID is basically comparing the references, while equals is comparing the
And the value
value
and the
and the
child.
type of, yeah. So create a simple class. The class name should be house, and it should have class attributes, which should be color, and it should have instance attributes, which should be
You said
height and, can you hear me?
yes. Can you please repeat what the name of the class?
So I said you should create a simple Python class
Yes.
that's, and the class name should be house,
Ha-
class variable, yeah,
house like this.
yeah, house, just a normal house, and class variable should be color, while instance variable, there's a difference, class variable and instance variable. The instance variable should be the height and number of windows. So that will be all, and you should create a simple, the string function that represents the house. So did you get that?
No, no. Can you
Just create
repeat?
a class, yeah,
We,
a house class.
I'm
Let me
writing
type.
now in. Okay, if you can type it, it will be good. Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, create class with class attribute color and instance attribute. Mm. Okay, I will do what I understand. Okay.
So have you been able to create it?
No, no.
So are you familiar with OOP?
What?
Are you familiar with object oriented programming?
Uh, in Python, I didn't use it. I didn't use it much. I used it before,
All right.
more like in
So,
other languages.
all right. All right. So that's just a question. So we would have to skip that since you are not
Okay,
familiar with that. So now I would move to the next question.
okay,
Yeah. So when we talk about mutability and immutability, what do you understand by an object being mutable and being immutable?
okay. So immutable, it's like lists. Like it can be changed, and immutable is like tuples that they can't be modified after they are defined.
So actually, you got it. You got the definition, but tuples are actually mutable too, because they are mutable, right? So I know it can be confusing, but tuples are mutable because when you say something is immutable, as you've said, it cannot be changed after we have created them, right? But tuples are mutable because we can actually add more items to them. So you can create a simple tuple, just create a very simple tuple, colors, put about two colors, and I'll show you that you can actually modify them after we have created it. So tuples are mutable, lists are mutables, dictionaries are also mutable, right? So
Okay,
yeah.
so green, black, white.
So now you've created the tuple colors, right? So if you click tuples, try using the method, just a dot, just click a dot, right?
Yeah,
Dot. No, no, that's not it.
dot.
Colors,
Which one? Which method?
There are several methods you can use to add a new item to the tuple.
This one, new or
Like,
add?
this is not what you're supposed to do. Just remove the equal sign. Just remove all of it.
I should remove all of it. You said,
Yes, yes, yes.
and put dot here.
Yeah. One of the ways. Okay, let's move back to your PyCharm.
Yes, I'm in PyCharm right now.
Now, right. Now we have a colors tuple, right? So this is just to back up the point that a Python tuple is actually mutable. Do you understand? Although we cannot, the level of mutability is quite low, but yes, we can change items within a tuple after it has been created, and it is one of the questions you can get asked, just like see how well you've worked with Python objects. So when you create another variable called new colors, just create another variable called new colors. So there are several ways to add here.
Okay.
Let that be a topic, right? Let it be a topic. So this is one of the ways we can actually add or modify or update a tuple after it has been created. So we can put like two colors here, probably like white, like a color you've not used before. Let's say pink and red, right? Just pink and red should do. Yeah. So
Okay.
now, yeah, that's fine. So write colors on a new line. Colors plus equals colors on a new line. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Colors plus equals, yeah.
Colors.
Colors just plus equal, it has to be together. That's an operator, yeah. No, the plus and the equals has to be together.
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. In place
Yeah.
operation. Okay.
New colors, right? New colors. So now the moment you print colors now, you would get the updated tuple, which means you have been able to modify the tuple, the first tuple, the original tuple, which was colors, right? So when you
Yes.
run it, kind of green, black, white, pink, red. So a list is immutable. A list is mutable. That is, we can
Yes.
change a list easily. We have a lot of methods, append,
Yeah.
extend method to modify a list after it has been created. A dictionary is also mutable,
Yeah.
and also the tuple is mutable.
Yeah.
But you just have to know how you are going to actually update it. But it is mutable. The only um, data structure that is immutable
Set.
is set. Yeah,
Okay.
set is immutable. All right.
Okay.
So that's immutability, and you have to like do a lot of work on that just to
Yeah.
improve your knowledge on it. Right. You have to
Yes.
make more research and yeah on
Sure.
that.
Thank you.
Also, yeah, also for OOP, right? Object oriented programming. So the task I gave that I should create a class, house, and everything. That's like one of the basic things you should be able to do. Yeah. So you need to learn object oriented programming
Yes.
properly.
Yes.
Yeah. So this I'm leaving my reviews now, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the next question, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Should I remove this?
Yeah, you can leave it there. You can leave it there.
Okay.
So, do you know about list comprehension? Can you, okay, create a list, right? Create a list and fill that list with 1, 2, 3 to 10.
From what?
1 to 10. Numbers from integers from 1 to 10.
Okay. You want me to write it, or should I just make?
Yeah, you have to write 1, 2, 3. Sorry about
I
that.
mean, like we can create it like quickly by the range.
Let me just type it and send it to you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Range from one
See,
to
I've sent it. Don't worry.
what?
I just sent it. Check the chat and
Okay.
copy it. Oh, that's fine. All right, let's go with your method, right? Let's go with your
Okay.
method.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah, let's go with your method. That's nice. That's some level of professionalism too. So now, I want numbers. I
Yeah,
want odd numbers from this list,
yeah,
and I
odd
want you
numbers.
to do that using list comprehension.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to create a list. Yeah, a list that's or okay. Okay, what is list comprehension first? Let's start from there.
Uh, it's a how to say it? It's a concise way, like to create a list from another list.
Yeah.
Is it
So
is it
we are trying to
acceptable?
get odd numbers out. Yeah. So please, I just want to know if it's something you can do. Let's know so I can ask the next question. Do
Can
you understand?
you repeat? No, I didn't hear you well.
So I said, get the odd numbers out of this list we have created, out of the list one. So is this
Yes.
something you can do right now, or it's going to take more time? I want to move to the next question.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, use list comprehension
Yeah, I will use.
to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's say odd. Okay.
All right, so that's perfect. Yeah, that's list comprehension. So that's awesome. So the next question is, I'm going to send it on the
Chat.
chat, so you can just copy that, yeah, and
Okay.
paste it. Question.
Okay. You want to know the difference between these two?
Yes, ags and quads.
What?
All
Uh,
right. So now,
uh,
what's the difference between ags? Yeah, ags and quads. And I would also like you to state the full meaning of ags and quads, like just the full meaning. Then you can now explain the differences between it, what it really means. Yeah. And if you don't know the answer to this question, you can just continue. Yeah.
um, like I know them, but I forget a little bit, and I will try to answer and tell me if I am correct.
All right. All right. So now explain. Just
So,
try to give it a try. Like
yeah.
explain what you know.
So
Yeah.
in
Try.
in the function, uh, we have parameters that we can define, and when we use the star argument, we can add more more parameters in we can pass more values in this function, and we can use them like for like inside this function.
Function inside the function. Yeah.
And
That's correct.
for true stars key w args, it is uh, keyworded arguments.
Argument. Keyword argument. Yeah.
Yeah, so for this we can name this new parameters. like give them
All right.
a name. It is, and they are. We use them as well. We have a dictionary inside the
Okay.
function.
So yeah.
Is
So
that
now,
right?
add yeah. That's close to the your both of your answers are correct, but you just have to work on how you put them together and how you explain it, right?
Yeah,
So args is also known as arbitrary argument, while quads are known as keyword argument, right? Keyword
yeah,
argument or key yeah. Now, so when you want to pass multiple uh argument into a function and you do not know, maybe
yeah.
it's going to be three, maybe it's going to be five, maybe it's going to be four arguments that you're going to be getting, but you are going to be needing those arguments in the function. So that's when you introduce arbitrary argument and arbitrary
Arbitrary.
keyword argument. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. Yeah. So that's just difference, right? So the next
Yes.
question, let me get the next question. So we have about three more questions left, right? So what's your understanding on what lambda function is? The lambda function.
Lambda function is anonymous function. Uh, we can assign it. We can assign it directly to a variable, and it is like. This is like I'm not very sure. I think it has only one a single line, right?
Yes.
So
So yes, yeah, yeah. So lambda function is an arbitrary is an anonymous function, like I've said, yeah,
yeah,
and it's a way of just creating a very simple function that returns a value or does a very simple arithmetic operation.
yeah.
So yeah, you are correct. Yeah, you're correct. You're quite correct. So what do you understand by polymorphism? So polymorphism is one of the core features of object-oriented programming. I know
Yeah,
I've asked the question object-oriented programming before, but I'd like to know if you can explain to me what polymorphism is, right?
polymorphism. Yeah. All right. So in polymorphism, we have uh, we have, for example, let's say a, a, a class of a parent class, or for example, animal, and we have I forget some vocabularies. So like children classes, like a cat or
Right.
a dog.
All right. So the thing is, polymorphism simply means different forms, right? So when we create classes, right, and
Yes,
we want a yeah. So polymorphism is a major feature of object-oriented programming, and when we start discussing about object-oriented programming,
yes,
we discuss about inheritance. So polymorphism is kind of
arrangements,
dependent on inheritance, and inheritance is simply passing down attributes and methods
methods. Yeah,
from a class to another class, right?
yes,
So when we have a method, a class, right, that
yes,
has certain methods and certain attributes, we want to pass those methods. But polymorphism is actually focusing more on methods, right, rather than attributes, right? So
yes,
we want to pass down that method to another class. So we are saying that this method is going to behave very closely to the parent class. And now when it comes to polymorphism now, because the two classes are different, but because one is inheriting from one, it
yes,
would behave kind of like the parent class, right? So
yes,
polymorphism allows for different forms. That is, the way this one is going to behave is going to be a little bit different from the way the parent class is going to behave. But because they are inheriting from each other, it will behave in a very similar pattern.
yes.
Yeah. So that's really what polymorphism is about. Like if we had more time, I would have shown a code snippet or an example or something like that. But you need to get a good explanation or a
Nation.
good definition for it
Yes,
um,
explanations.
for a real interview. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So what do you understand by PIP?
What?
So what's PIP? Like this, it's called PIP, right?
Yes,
Or
keep.
TBI in programming, in Python programming.
Yeah, so we use it to install libraries for Python.
All right. So it's a Python package manager,
Like,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Package manager. Right? Yeah. So can you briefly show me write a code to undo an exception, right? Like try, catch,
Okay.
and yeah, block. So the thing is, we want to create a simple code that will check if someone is eligible, that
Someone
is
is
above
eligible.
the age. Yeah,
What?
if a particular age is eligible to go into a place or not. So we are checking for people who are above the age of 18, right? But at times the user might enter an invalid input, like a name. You know, a name should not work in that case, and it will throw an error in our program. We want to be able to handle a case whereby the user enters an invalid input. In a case whereby the user enters a wrong uh, type, you know, age should be from around like 0 to probably 100, right? So if our user enters something like uh, his or her name, then we want to handle that error and tell the user that they have enter the wrong input, and we want to do that using the try and catch except block. So this is the last question for the day, right? So in a more technical interview, we can be given a data structure and algorithm question that would take more time, probably like an hour for you to solve or more. And in most cases, you might not even be able to solve it, right? But for today, this is the last question. So now create a simple try, catch, except block to handle that case whereby a, a user enters the invalid input, right? So try to do that.
I can do any input like
Yeah, so yeah. I don't want to give you any hint, but just try, just do what you think is right. Then
okay.
I'll try to
So
correct.
let's say we want age inch input. So let's see.
Um,
Is this
I
correct?
can't see your I can't see your screen. Sorry, reshare your screen, please.
You can't see? Okay. We'll stop and share again.
I can see your screen now. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I did. I defined each variable.
Okay.
So this is int to convert the input to integer.
You're not showing me your yeah, okay. So try h equals, okay. So now, okay, this is nice, right? This is nice. So this a very basic try a way of handling exception. So another good thing you can add to this to make it better and to make it to let your interviewer know that okay, you understand the subject or the concept better is that,
Yeah.
doing this except now, yeah, you are trying to catch any form of exception, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you are trying to handle that. So there are times that you need to capture specific
Specific error.
exception.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can you do that, right?
For this one, I should see first. This. Let me try
Yeah.
something.
What you should,
I need the name of the error.
yes, exactly, of the exception. Not the
Yes.
error.
Yes, for the exception. It's value error.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
So,
it's value error.
yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to that like this is the end of the call, right? So I'm going to share with you more likely questions so you can like prepare with them. But based on our call, you need to work on object-oriented programming like
Yes.
very well. And yeah, I think that is it. And you also need to improve the speed at which you talk or respond to questions and the rates at which you type to. You should type faster. You understand?
Faster.
Just improve on this. Yeah. So
In
type
type
faster.
in typing and
Yeah.
in answering.
Yes, exactly. And also another thing is when you don't know something, I noticed that most of the things you have an idea about it, but like when you just have to start talking as soon as something comes up in your mind. You don't have to wait. Like, do you understand? So
Can you
you have to
repeat?
because at the end, yeah. Can I repeat?
Yes, repeat please because I didn't hear very well.
Okay, what I said is that
Should I?
you
Should
have
I?
answers to
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Can I stop sharing
right.
now? Maybe I can hear you better if we finished with this.
All right. So okay, so yeah, so this
Should,
works. You see, this works the same way, but this actually shows that you understand the exception handling better, right? So now, what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to leave my reviews. So
yes.
you have said something and you've gotten it. So what I said is that most of the questions you have answers to them, right? But you are trying to think of a way of bringing them up all together, like trying to explain in the best possible way. But what I would suggest is that you just start talking. So while you are talking, you get how you are going to present the answer properly rather than waiting for like some minutes before talking. Because some interviewers will not be patient enough to say, oh, do you know the answer? Something like that. They just want an immediate response. Do you get? So you just think for a few seconds and just respond as much as you can or as fast as you can. But in terms of preparation, right, I will send you more questions to that you can go through or prepare with. But when it comes to practicing, you need to practice OOP, object oriented programming, more. And
Yes.
that should be, yeah. All right.
If you finish your questions, can I ask you
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
questions?
yeah. You can.
Uh, all right. So, do you think that these are like the most questions
Yes,
like
yes.
the
Don't expect something bigger than this. Most questions would not be about Django or about Flags or about something that's complicated. Most questions, most interview questions would be about something this basic, like list, tuples, conditional statements. Most importantly, object-oriented programming and some other things. It would not be about oh, build up an application right now, right now. That's not what the question is going to be about. It's going to be about the basics of the programming language. You understand? Assuming you were
yes.
applying for a Java, yes. assuming you are applying for a Java role, they would ask you about things like this. They won't ask you that, oh, create a Spring Boot app. You understand? So it's going to
Yeah,
be about the basics first. Yeah.
yeah,
So in the
and
next stage, at times there could be a next stage, right? The next stage will now be about solving an actual problem, whereby you would have a question and they will give you a duration for that question. That's
yes,
what's going to be. Yeah. So that's it. It's all about confidence, responding fast, and just practicing, right?
and
That's it.
also like for example about as I said before, like for Scrum or Amazon Web Services and Docker, do they ask something
Yeah.
like a little bit deeper in these topics as well?
That is going to be like that's they don't really ask about that, but I don't know. It depends on the role, right? But most developer role would be focused on the programming language, yes. So if you are now applying for probably an AWS role, right, that would now focus on AWS and so on. So that's what I think.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right. Yeah.
uh,
Bye for now.
yeah, thank you so much, Philip,
Okay.
for your
In the
time.
meantime, all right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it, and like I will work on this
Right.
what you gave me, and maybe if you accept another time, we can have another one
All right.
later.
But before
What?
that time, I'm going to send you more questions that I can practice with.
Yes, I saw there is I think a website called Leech. I think
Okay.
Leech Code. I
I don't
think
know
it is
about that.
Leech Code.
Oh, lead code is for data structures and algorithm questions. So those are the kind of questions you can get like
Yeah.
uh, probably after you pass this stage because interviews are always in stages. So probably after you pass this initial stage, then the next stage will be you solving those kind of lead code questions.
Yes.
But before you are start attempting lead code questions, I would advise you like try to work on the things we discussed on this call, and you need to get a data structure and algorithm course because it takes more than just mere programming skills to solve those questions. So you have to like do some data structure and algorithm
Yeah.
to be able to solve those questions. Yeah. All
Yes.
right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.